Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Colorado 13. And it's not far off Christmas, so I have gone for like a Colorado themed ski town, ski resort, which I think kind of makes sense given the festive time of the year. What I don't quite get is why Sleuth is wearing an earring. That does feel a bit out of place. Drinking maybe eggnog, hot chocolate, something along those lines, as I can imagine. And actually, hope you guys are having a fantastic season. Not just from me, but from my dog, Nini. Just there, lying down on the couch, waiting for Mrs. Sleuth, who's actually at her office's Christmas do. Office, clinic. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set, which is, I'm delighted to say, Colorado 13 from Florian Wortmann. So I find that if I'm a little bit late, best way for apologizing for not having a daily puzzle is checking if Florian has actually posted any puzzle and enjoying whatever goodies we're going to have in store for today. Rules-wise, we've got the following set of rules. I just spotted the fact that we've got an anti-night move, so this is going to be a tricky puzzle. It is 2-star difficulty rated, 98% as of the time of recording. Sudoku, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Then we have identical digits cannot be in a knight's move apart. So if this cell is a 2, for example, obviously it can't be in the same column, row, or box. But anything that is a chess knight's move away, which is that L shape, essentially this square, but also this square, 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 all of them cannot be 2. So that is actually looking already quite interesting to me. Digits joined by an x must sum up to 10, and digits joined by a v must sum up to 5, and all x's and v's are given. So if this is a 2, this would have to be a 3 because these two cells must add up to 5. Now, if this cell is 3, this cell would have to be 7 to make sure that these two cells add up to 10. Obviously, this is another 2 because these two cells add up to 5. Now, one thing that's interesting in here is the negative constraint. I cannot have a 7 here to add up to 10. That wouldn't work because there's no x. I cannot have a 3 in here with these two cells adding up to 5 because there is no v. So negative constraints do apply. Then we've got at the bottom here what I imagine is almost like the ski hut, a mountain, some kind of reference to that, or maybe Sleuth knew something and that's maybe the earring. Digits along an arrow sum to the digits in the corresponding circle. So these two cells add up to a value that you're going to have to be able to place inside that circle. For example, 2 and 3, that would have to be a 5. And then these two cells would also have to add up to 5, such as 1 and 4. That's all the rules we have for today. So as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, okay, let me take a step back. Nothing is necessarily catching my attention. I think maybe that's what I should start with. But I was noticing a lot of constraints as I was completing kind of the anti-knight move. So 2 cells that add up to 5 can only be 2, 3, or 1, 4. If I color them, one of them blue, you can already see that these 2 cells, well, they can't be blue again because I'd end up with 3 in the same column. That would have to be green. This would have to be blue. And notice the anti-knight move that we kind of accidentally discovered in the solve. These 2 cells have to be different. This has to be blue because we've already got 2 greens looking at it in column 6. That's got to have to be green. These 2 blues are looking at these, which have to be now green. I'm gonna make, so high digits are gonna be red, because to get to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 with 6, 7, 8, or 9. Green can't be here. We also know negative constraints. Actually, hang on. Green, Sudoku says there are 2 greens up here. Now, even if one of them, as in one of them is in here, well, the second one would have to be there and would have to add up to 5. So that's not going to work. These 2 cells have to be green as well, which also means that these 2 cells, these 2 greens, also have to be in here in row 1. Same challenge that we had with column 9. If that's green, well, the second one is in here pairing up with something that adds up to 5, so that's got to be green, that's got to be blue. And blue in here tells us that this is a green-red combo. Greens in here tells us this is a blue-red combo. In fact, the blue there tells me that's not blue, and therefore that's the blue one. This is red. This is blue and red again. And that's all the X's and V's colored. So we're going to get on to letters now. And again, it doesn't matter what you use as long as you're consistent that D and F always add up to 10. That's the thing that matters. Can't be, remember the anti-knight move, that's A, that's D, that's D, that's A. That A can't seize this cell, so that has to be D. Therefore that's F again. Notice the F's now means that's got to be F. F in here means that's got to be A and I. We can, actually that D here, and that A for that matter, tells us this is D, this is A. So we have actually a substantial amount of information. D's are none of these cells. D is in one of these two. D has to be up here according to Sudoku. And because that's D and there's no V between them, that can't be A, so that's I and that's A. And therefore that's blue and that's red. And this is red as well. Right, before we spend too much time trying to find all the others, I'm going to just put some letters on the greens as well. So I'm going to use this one because it seems to see, well, frankly, not a lot of it actually. So B, knight move, that's C, that's B, B. This has to be CG because it's not B. This has to be C, this has to be B, this has to be C. This is a BC pair, as are these two cells, and we don't actually know how to disambiguate them yet. Now, I'm going to say the arrows have to have low digits, because if there are no low digits, like none whatsoever, that would have to be 4 and 5, sorry, 5 and 6, which would be 11. So that's impossible. So I think that's going to be somehow the key to helping us move forward. But let me just have a look. What else am I trying to find? How about D in here? Can't be any of these cells. Can't be this. Can't be that. One of these is D. D is none of these. Knight move. Still too many options. Yeah, 3 options. I am going to do something unusual and actually corner pencil mark them all. A's. No A's. No A's. Hopefully, this was obvious. Sudoku, anti-knight move, and then obviously Sudoku, so that forced an A in here. That forces A's in there. That can't be A because next to it would be a D, so that's not the A, that is the A. This is one of them. That's another. Now remember what I said about low digits. So each of these has to have at least one low digit. And the interesting thing is, if this is BC, which we know it isn't, this would have to be AD to add up to 5. And the D isn't here. So at most there's only one green digit in these two cells. And it has to be at exactly 1 because, as I said, if there are no low digits, 5 and 6 would be the minimum, which would be 11. So there is one green digit in here. We'll figure out what that is in a bit. Now these, I'm not sure I can disambiguate anymore because the A's can't give us any negative constraints, and that's basically a D X-wing. So how am I going to do the rest is the question. C is none of these, C is none of these. C is not here because of these two cells. C is in one of these two. B can't be here. B, because of night move, can't be there. B cannot be next to the C, so, and actually can't be there because of night move. That's a B. That means B is in one of these three cells. This one works. Suddenly, this is getting very tricky. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to have to do a lot more with negative constraints, which I'm not that keen about. For example, B is here, B is there. H would have to be in one of these two cells. And then again, the opposite with C, so G would have to be in one of these two cells. F is not there. So F, and F is not here, F is not there. This is, excuse me, F, which gives me H, and then an EG pair. G works on either at the moment. So I can't be next to A. I is not here. That's I. F's not there. It's not there. That's F. Actually, I've already placed it apparently. Whoops. Let's try that again. So what am I missing? An H, which can't be here. It'd have to be one of these two cells, which is not brilliant. Rest of this is H, E, and G. All seemingly works. This cannot be I, F, or G. This is E or H. So there's something in here, and I, which can only be in there. Yeah, thank you. H is not here. H is in one of these two cells. Because it's not here because of that H. So because one of these is an H, that can't be an H. Have I misclicked something here? I think I was meant to say G, not H. Sorry. G is in one of these two cells. That's what I meant to say. Then H being here doesn't really make a huge difference. And this has to be E or G, just completing the row. I'm not entirely sure I know what I'm doing, by the way. Just going to admit that up front. F is in one of these three cells, not this one because of night move, and not that one, so that's F. Places F in one of these three cells, not that one, because of these two, one of these two. Right, F is in one of these two cells, and that's an F X-wing. Not a fan so far, by the way. I think worthwhile just stating that. I put Z in here, and I have no idea what letter it was meant to be. It's going to be something that's next to it. No idea. And another Z here. Oh, hang on. Z I like plastered all over the place. This is another EG. And I don't know which one it is. Color this blue. So we need a B, and it's none of these cells. It's one of these three. That looks like essentially it's B, D, and F for some reason. Yeah, yeah, I'm good with that. So this is D, B, F. We said that's not F, that's not D, and I think the rest are correct. We did say there is a green cell. The green cell here couldn't be a C, C is both. Can still be a B. These two cells could be a B, for example. What would happen there? Yeah, I'm not seeing the problem. These three. So I've got A, B, C, D. I need E, G, H, which from the looks of things could be anywhere. This is starting to get very tricky. So we know that this is a red digit. If it was a lower digit than that, as in let's say 4, then obviously I don't like you can't you need to have a digit that is 5 or higher because you need two different pairs that add up to it. And because the D is not on there, we know that we're not adding up to 5s. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. So we can color it red. I'm not sure I can do much more just yet. No I. I is one of two cells. No I. No I. I has to be in here. I don't know how I missed that earlier when I was focusing on this box. So that's I. That's not I. That's I. Now we've discounted I in here. And there. I is in one of these two cells. That's fine. These are red. Interestingly, I is in one of these two cells. Two cells, three cells, which I think is probably enough to tell us that A and D are 1 and 4 because I and F have to be 6 and 9. And then one of the green digits, the 3, is what separates them. Now the alternative, of course, is this is 2 and 3, which would make this 7 and 8, and then I would have to have a 1 in here. Oh, never mind, both work. These two cells are known, so I may as well use them. They are, I'm going to say E and G. I've got everything else, I believe, which allows me to place a digit in here, which is broken. No, it's not G, because I've already got G. It's H. And this is G. Much better. E and H don't interact with anything next to them here. B and D doesn't seem to. And G doesn't see any of these cells. All right, C and I, we've proven are down here. What are these two cells? They are E and H, and the H can't be next to a B. That's H. That's E. That gives me G, E, G. E gives me H in here, not H, H. This is E and G. And these are EGs. That E gives me G, E, can't be next to C, so that's B, C. B can be next to G, so that's not helpful. Oh, good. And a bunch of 5s. I mean, if we want to, we can actually place some digits now with the E being 5. Not that keen. C, I, and I guess E. That's not E. That's not I. That can only be C, and that's green. That means this is an EI pair. And I can't see a negative constraint to stop it, either of them. And then these two are also known. I'm going to say HG. G here gives me HG. Both are red, as is this. That is a known digit, that is an I. These two are E and H, and they're out of reach of everything. Of course they are. F and I, no real constraints here. No real constraint, no real constraint. So we need EI. Actually, I can't be on any of these because of the A. That's I, that's E. That's G, that's E. That's more 5s. That's more high digits. We need E and H. Just double checking before I say that. E can't be here. That's E, that's H. That's H, that's E. We're nearly there, actually, in terms of being able to get the entire grid. Actually can't resolve that. That is G. Now, G can't be next to C. This can't be C because of the negative constraint. So that's the C. That can't be B because of the negative constraint. That's B. That's C. That's B. And that's going to be I. That is not I. And a bunch more colors. C up here gave me G and C. We now know that the B is on here. Remember we said a long time ago that we needed one low digit at least. And therefore that's F, that's D, that's B. This is E or H. Actually, it's not H, it's E. H, H, I can type. Fi, Fi, I can't be there. That's I, that's, hang on. That's F. That is something. G. Right. We probably have enough information now to actually solve this at this point. Where is C? I think it can only be there. D. Where is E? Can only be here. All of these are red. Gray, green, and then the red digit that is here is H apparently. Right. So the arrow sum is telling us well, I mean, it's telling us that I is bigger than H and G. Another way of saying that A is smaller than C and B, which is enough information, isn't it? That would have to be 1 because these would have to be 2 and 3. Sorry, 2 and 3. Maybe I'll step through that quickly because I didn't really verbalize it very well. Right. I, because it's clearly the sum of two digits, has to be bigger than G and H. G is with C, they add up to 10, and H with B add up to 10. So essentially, if these two cells are smaller than I, it can only mean that the counterpart of I, which is the A, has to be smaller than the counterparts of C and B. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't think I really explained it very well, but 1, 4, 9. So these are 7 and 8. So that's got to be the 8 with the 1. That's got to be the 7. C is 3. B is 2. F is 6. And D is 4. I've already done that. And E is 5, as we said all along. As always, fantastic puzzles, Florian. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. And I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.